Yo, what up? It's your boy. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Omega Classic Records TV is the page and the name. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of an era. Is MTV shutting down? Here's everything you need to know about the channels going off the air. Yes, on December 31st, MTV shut down a number of its music-only channels. The flagship channels will continue airing programming. MTV first debuted in the United States on August 1st, 1981. On December 31st, 2025, the network shut down several music-only channels, ending decades of 24-hour music broadcasting. MTV first announced the move back in October per Rolling Stone. MTV first launched in the United States on August 1st, 1981. The first video it aired was Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles, which was also the final clip that the MTV Music played on December 31st. While it's a bit sad, it's been a bit sad for a while. I think MTV had its time and history that will never be repeated, and it's time to change, former MTV DJ Daisy Fuentes told People in October 2025. We all change. We have to evolve. And I hope that there's another version of them, just like there's another version of us. Us who were part of that, we're no longer the same. Why should we expect them to be? The world has changed so much. So is MTV shutting down for good? Well, here's everything that you need to know about the channels that are going off the air. Is MTV shutting down? No, not entirely. MTV isn't shutting down altogether. However, the network axed a number of its dedicated music channels from airwaves at the end of 2025. MTV's flagship channels will continue to air regularly scheduled programming, including franchises like The Challenge and RuPaul's Drag Race. Per Variety, MTV is 2025's 49th most popular cable network, coming in front of Comedy Central. Which MTV channels have gone off the air? MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s, Club MTV, and MTV Live went off the air in various countries on December 31st. The United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Germany, Austria, Poland, Hungary, Australia, and Brazil were impacted, according to the BBC. Each channel aired a different video in its final moments. MTV Music played Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles, while MTV 90s aired The Spice Girls' Goodbye. Viewers who now try to tune into these channels will see a scene cycling through the affected channels' logos. A Chiron notes that fans can access MTV content on the main channel, MTV HD. Why is MTV shutting down its music-only channels? Neither MTV nor its parent company, Paramount, has not commented on the reasoning for shutting down several of its channels dedicated to music programming, per Rolling Stone. This isn't the first time that the network has slashed programming. Earlier this year, MTV paused several award shows, including the MTV Europe Music Awards and MTV Latin America's MIAW Awards. The move came amid cost-cutting measures during Paramount's $8 billion merger with Skydance, which was completed in August 2025, according to the Associated Press. In May 2023, the network's news division, MTV News, was shut down after 36 years amid quote-unquote pressure from broader economic headwinds, per Showtime/MTV Entertainment Studios and Paramount Media Networks President Chris McCarthy. Wow. So MTV is on its way out the door and signing off multiple channels. I covered this story because this is another symptom of failure inside of the music industry and inside of the system of entertainment. So I think what's most important to take away from this is the gravitation effect. So where are people going to watch their videos now? YouTube, for the most part. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world, right behind Google, I believe. That statistic could be dated. That comes from, I think, about a year to 2 years ago, but I'm imagining that it still stands true today, especially being that both Google and YouTube are owned by Google. Also, another takeaway, independent artists. Again, what does that mean for us? Well, that means that eyes are pointing more and more towards you. Eyes are going toward YouTube. People are gravitating now more than ever to, we'll say, customized programming. Just like this program you're listening to and watching right now, This is Omega Classic Records TV, and we get the opportunity to bring you the news with music, with culture, and with the world, and in some occasions, music videos for nostalgia, and also music videos from our in-house artists like Omega, myself. So again, the independent sector is benefiting from, the failure of a big entertainment conglomerate. You have to realize that if you're in the business, if you're just, bopping along and doing music, you're obviously not paying attention. I think that things like this are extremely important. You're in music, that means you're in business, okay? So if businesses inside of your industry are failing, then you need to understand why. You need to understand why big companies like BET have changed hands in their ownership over, 2 or maybe 3 times, I think, in the last 10 years. I think now maybe Tyler Perry has something to do with the ownership of it. Don't quote me, just look it up. But I do know that BET has changed hands at least 2 occasions for sure. So here's MTV, the platform that started out in 1981. Another platform, by the way, as a footnote, that we had to fight to get on. Michael Jackson being, I believe, one of the first, or if not the first, African-American artist to get on MTV, because it was a struggle to get black artists on there, and MTV's stance on it was, this is a platform for rock and roll, but Michael Jackson was undeniable, so of course he broke the barriers.
In the early 80s, MTV was the hottest new music channel, but there was one major problem: black artists were almost completely shut out. That all changed when Michael Jackson came along and forced the network to open its doors to everyone. When MTV launched in 1981, it was known as a rock music channel. Executives claimed they only played rock-oriented artists, which meant black musicians were often ignored. That changed in 1983 with Billie Jean. Epic Records threatened to pull all their artists from MTV unless they played Michael's video. The network gave in, and Billie Jean became the first music video by a black artist to receive heavy rotation on MTV. After Billie Jean, Michael didn't just stop, he took music videos to the next level. Thriller wasn't just a video, it was a full-blown movie. MTV had no choice but to embrace music videos as a true art form, and suddenly, every artist wanted to follow MJ's lead. Thanks to Michael Jackson, MTV transformed from a niche rock channel into a worldwide music phenomenon. His influence led to more diversity, bigger productions, and the rise of the modern music video industry. Michael Jackson didn't just break into MTV, he reshaped it. He became the first black artist to dominate the network, won countless MTV awards, and left a lasting impact on music television. Without Michael Jackson, MTV might never have become the powerhouse it is today.
I think even David Bowie had something to say about MTV and their practice of discrimination towards African American artists, if I'm not mistaken. That's something that you can look up on your own time as well. But nonetheless, with those struggles and strifes, and we finally broke through, Michael Jackson kicks down the doors for all of the other African American acts, especially hip hop acts, like Public Enemy and, more controversial acts. It sucks to see them go, even with all of that history, even with MTV not starting out as, a fan of or supporting a platform of black arts and black music. I loved MTV. I watched MTV often growing up. I remember its programming. I remember its quirky, eccentric commercials. I remember the eccentric logos. I think all of us have a point in our childhood, if you were born in the 80s or 90s, where MTV holds a significant place in time, in memory, and some of us in the heart. But make no mistake, independent artists, this means this is just another opportunity for you to grow your own networks wherever you are. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Patreon, if you're even on OnlyFans, it's your time, and that time is now. So people are getting out of watching their content this way. It's not consumed this way like that anymore. People are going straight to the sources to get their content now. And who are the sources? Those are the folks that have pages on YouTube and Patreon and OnlyFans and Instagram and all these other places. So now's that time, independent artists. Make sure that you follow and pay attention to your industry and how it moves, and how big conglomerates are responding to the numbers. These are big companies that they're waiting for numbers to produce themselves every 30 to 90 days. They're looking at reports ahead of time. They're trying to catch any significant drops, or they're trying to turn corners and catch the curves of things and whatnot and so forth. So you as well have to pay attention to. But nonetheless, best of luck to MTV and to all of the folks that work there. This does, I'm sure, mean that jobs are being cut to some extent, even though no one has said anything about that. It's a direct correlation when you're cutting down production of any kind. It's going to cut down jobs. You can almost be sure of that. But nonetheless, best of luck to everyone with MTV, and I'd like to thank MTV too for being a part of my childhood, even though it was a fight to get Mike Jackson on there and people that look like me on there. They eventually had no choice but to open the doors, and when they did open the doors, it was a magnificent thing to see, and it is sad to see him go. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Omega Classic Records TV is the page and the name. All right. Yeah, man, just keep making your music, keep doing your thing, and keep your eyes on your industry. the markets, the players, the big businesses, and the small businesses like yourself. Notice I said businesses, not rappers or musicians, because you're in business, big baby. That's just the facts. All right, I'm out. Peace.